Hey y'all, it's Day. So I'm gonna be doing a reading for us today. I'm very much looking forward to this reading. I just felt like sitting in like blue lighting, so that's why the lighting is looking this way. Um, I want to do this reading because I'm feeling very vulnerable right now. I guess at this stage of my life, or this turning point of my life. So I've been having like a lot of anxiety, and I'm just looking for a message that's gonna help with that, and then hopefully it's a you me reading, a reading that I can share with you guys that's also personal to me. So let's see. I am using the Oracle, the Threads of Fate Oracle Shadow Collection. And I was telling you guys last time that that's one of my favorite. I forgot to close the window. I got enough fresh air for now. It's gonna be a little bit more quiet. Okay. So yeah, I'm using the Threads of Fate because, like I said in the last reading, this was one of the first decks that I got, and I started getting Oracle decks because I felt like they were a little less intimidating than tarot cards, and for me to just learn how to connect with my intuition. So, angels, guides, ancestors, God source, and benevolent energies that stand in truth and love, thank you for the love, thank you for the guidance, thank you for the protection. Please continue to guide and protect us as we walk our path. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm hearing, as I was saying that, I was hearing the word ashe, ashe, ashe. And um, I've heard a lot of people say that, and I forgot all the history behind that. But I think that's interesting that that came up because that's not something that I say. So ashe, ashe, ashe. And the energy that's coming with it is more like kind of like proclaiming things that you want in your life, and like kind of having this energy of like, this is what's happening, I'm doing this, it's here, I am. It's giving that energy like it's happening right now. Speaking something into existence. I approve of this. I am consciously asking for this, because a lot of us have learned that sometimes we bring on certain experiences because of our mindset. So ashe, ashe, ashe coming through is kind of like claiming what it is that you want now, claiming who it is that you say that you are now, and like being fully on board with it. So I'm getting someone of an image of like someone walking into a suit. So it can be any kind of suit, like a business suit or an artist suit or suit, or whatever it is that you are, I guess, wanting to label yourself as, or know yourself as, or you want other people to know you as. And so I see somebody just like walking into this suit. Um, and it could be something like an opportunity that someone is getting or has gotten, and them contemplating if that is a suit that they want to wear. So it's giving me the energy of like, I don't know if anyone has ever been surprised by their parent or a guardian, and you're just kind of like, is this a trick? Like, why are you being so nice to me? What you got me a gift for? Or if you experience that with anyone, it doesn't have to be a parent-child dynamic, but it's kind of like They're like, I just want to tell you that you're doing so good, and you kind of like don't believe them. You like me? Maybe you're someone that's not used to getting recognized or something like that, and you're kind of like, hmm. That's the energy that's coming through. So there's a little bit of unworthiness that's coming through. It's like you've been doing something for a while, and now you have an opportunity to be whatever that is that you have been, but on a larger scale or a larger stage or a something. And then I'm hearing the words commercial vehicle, which for me as a reader, that means someone's moving from one stage of their life to the next. So the first card that came out is the Speak Truth card. Speak Truth. And it's coming out in reverse. And I heard the word nice. Nice. What's coming through with this sword imagery in reverse is like someone is afraid to fully express themselves, express their truth. Someone is, I'm hearing the word shy. On top of that, we have get creative. And it's really like focusing more on that this is something that you love rather than this is something that others might hate. Like just stay focused. What was coming through in the previous to this reading was this idea of when you find yourself like experiencing anxiety driving type of thoughts, like what will other people think, what will other people do, how will they react to me. When you're focusing on that, it's like your focus is getting broad to like everyone else or things outside of your control. And in the last reading, spiritual team was talking about like when you recognize that you're doing that, to like bring the focus back to you and what you're experiencing and how you are feeling within the experience. Like, does this feel good for you? Is this something that you love? Is this something that you want to put your time, energy, and effort into? How does this make you feel? How does doing this make you feel? What are you wanting to experience? What could you get out of this? How could this propel you forward? Where is it that you want to go? What are your desires? It's like focusing back on yourself with this get creative and just kind of like focus on I'm doing what I love. At the top of the spread we have the Death card. Upright. So transformation is definitely available. Some of you guys are feeling like transformation is right like in your face, like it's happening, and now you're kind of hesitant or having second thoughts. It's like working for something and then it gets there and you're kind of like, so this is awkward. Like I didn't realize that you actually did come. So yeah. Underneath this death card we have get wild in reverse. It's like, you know that quote, dance like nobody's looking? Why did that come through? I feel it's like so corny, but it's definitely giving that energy like dance like nobody's watching, or like get wild with it, like it's like being proud of something, not shying away from opportunities to show it or share it or something. On the far right of the spread, we have Ascension, and it's coming out. Ascension is coming out in the choice point position. And with this hand and the wings, it's kind of like with your will, using your will, using your will. It's giving me the energy of focusing on the purpose, focusing on your purpose, focusing on this calling that you have. So this looks like someone like willing something, or there's movement with the hand and the wings. Um, this also looks like you're raising your hand. Either you're calling upon something or something has been called upon from you. But either way, the hand is also representing like answering the call or picking up or stepping up to the challenge, facing whatever this is. But it's giving answering the call energy. Towards the bottom of the spread, we have share wisdom in reverse. Share wisdom in reverse. Very interesting. Let's see. On the left of this share wisdom, we have the void in reverse. Oh, yeah. So this is immediately feeling like some of you guys may have been working on something or working towards something or developing something, whether it's something external and creative or it's your personal self-image, how you view yourself, the character that, you've been like building boundaries or getting rid of trauma. If you've been working on yourself or working on something in any way that has this long-term type of feel for you, like this is something that you want to be doing for a long time, or a skill that you've been working on for a long time, or a dream that you've had for a long time. This, like I said, the death card coming out is like very in your face. Like I said, going back to this example of like you've been working on something gradually and now you're being presented with an opportunity or something and you're kind of like, oh shit, it's actually here. And so like needing to step into that shoe or walk into that suit with the imagery that came through earlier. Something about this journey that you've been on for a while, there's always this stage where like you feel like you're in a void where you've been walking for a long time and there's not much to bounce off of, so it kind of just feels like you're just on this underground, like nobody sees you, there's no witnesses, but you're just working away on something. And so the void is like where you're kind of like, damn, I've been on this journey for a while, am I lost? But you keep going anyway. So this next stage of your life where you're being presented an opportunity and you're kind of questioning yourself, like, am I ready? Is this what I want? Should I do this? Am I ready? Am I prepared? That type of energy. They're saying that getting out of this void, that space where you kind of wondered if you were on the right track, were you crazy? Am I going anywhere? It's like getting out of that is realizing it's your stop. Like, it's your stop. So your spiritual team wants you to know that your stop is coming up, where sometimes the next stages, like we've been on this journey for so long, now we've arrived and it's like, oh shit, I gotta perform. It's giving that energy. It's like I gotta perform now, like it's happening. I don't know why that was so hard to get out. We have share wisdom in reverse. So this is representing the hesitancy that we have or we're experiencing. Like now is time to show everything that you've learned or to share it with others or to, change your identity in some way. And we got cold feet. Okay, so underneath that we have the Weaver coming out in the choice point. Oh, I didn't know I had two cards. Hold on, I don't want to get them mixed up. It came out in the choice point position. So the Weaver, I want to read that one from the book. And then we have Surrender in the choice point position. Well, no. Yeah, that's in the choice point position. Okay, so let me try to read the Weaver. Where's my book? Oh. I'm gonna play by my books. The Weaver. Right? 117. Dang. Okay. The Weaver is the master of their destiny. This deck is named the Threads of Fate because each one of us has thousands of threads that, when combined, weave the fabric of our life. We can braid, nurture, or sever any strand at any time, and in doing so, we are the Weaver. This card urges you to take inventory of all of the threads active within your life at the moment. What needs to happen moving forward? Which ones need to grow stronger? Which ones need to be cut? What actions can you take to tend to the threads of your fate? Love that. So yeah, your spiritual team definitely wants you to know that you have an opportunity to evolve, grow, allow your true and authentic self to be seen. That type of energy. There's a lot of blessings for you, and then also there's a lot of people attached to you too that you're meant to share your gifts, your goals, dreams, and desires with. So with Surrender coming out in the choice point position as well, and then we have Reclaim in the choice point position. We talked about proclaiming, reclaiming in the last reading too. This aspect of yourself that deserves to experience you doing what you love, experiencing what you love, achieving what you love, receiving what you love, all that. The Creator in the choice point position. So I'm hearing the word divine, working with the divine, working with God, your spiritual team, the universe. There's something coming through of you needing to realize that you're not just doing it on your own either, that your spiritual team is going to support you throughout you kind of taking this leap of faith is the way it feels like. And the Creator is coming out in the choice point position. Wait. Interesting. Yeah, choice point. Even though the Creator is coming out in the choice point position, it feels more like in the resistant position. So that's why I'm like. So the Creator card looks like it's in the resistant position, and it's something about like knowing that you're not alone, that if it is something that you wish or want or desire, that whatever this calling feels like, or this next stage of your life, we're going to have a bit bigger platform, or maybe you're just taking up more space, that your spiritual team wants you to recognize that they are with you, that you do have a spiritual team, that there is someone or something listening. is always coming up. And it also is coming through like your spiritual team wants you to let them know what you're, like talk to them basically. And so that you will realize that you are being heard. So on the far right of the spread, we have Dare to Dream. Yeah, it's giving that energy. Dare to dream, dare to claim or reclaim. This diamond or this jewel has value, and your spiritual team is wanting you to hold on to it, to know that you're worthy of it, to know that you deserve it, to know that it is of divine blessing, to know that you are being um, assisted. Dare to dream. And then on the right of that, we have the wielding. And I want to read that one from the deck as well. The wielding. 118. Pulling the wielding card indicates a time to connect to the most primal parts of yourself. This may mean you need to detach a bit from people around you so you can hear the whispers of your deepest knowing without the influence of others. Can you hear the whispers of the deepest knowing? So that's definitely whatever this calling or this thing, this opportunity that you're being presented to that you may not feel worthy of. Um, like to acknowledge this deeper aspect of yourself that when you're not worried about how you'll be perceived or how others will react to you or any other similar worries that are like external, bringing back that focus to yourself and what you're experiencing and what you want. That's why it's coming through. The wielding is raw, empowered, and independent. Many people are intimidated by them because they need little from others and prioritize radical freedom, which can be unsettling as most of society operates within unspoken expectations and contracts. The wielding burns the contract and heads into the woods. Yes, it's definitely this energy. Not being, it's this worry of being perceived negatively by other people. Wielding comes to us as an ally when we need to break free of the systems that limit us. The wielding within us remembers a time where we lived with the land, when we walked barefoot, when our lives were in alignment with the natural world. Wielding is a call for remembrance. A call, where to go? Dang, I can't find it. We talked about a call earlier, reclaiming, answering the call. So, wielding is a call for remembrance. A good way to involve, a good way to invoke wielding is to dive deeper into our body and hear what it needs from us on our most primal level. So we talked about like in this deeper aspect of yourself, there's something that you want, you desire, that you want to express, and we're more focused on other people than focusing on our own personal experience. But that requires us to like acknowledge our body, acknowledge our energy levels, like, it's just that energy of honoring how you feel, regardless of others' perception of it. Prioritizing ourselves. A balanced wielding prioritize freedom but remains grounded. They possess an instinct that may not make sense to others but never leads them astray. Period, 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 period. A balanced wielding prioritize freedom but remains grounded. They possess an instinct that may not make sense to others, but never leads them astray. So our spiritual team is coming through very clearly to encourage us to follow our own intuitions, our own inner guidance regarding our identity, what we want to do, the type of interactions that we have, and like what we're doing for work or our purpose. So if you feel it like in your body that you want to be free, that you want to work a different type of job, or you want to change your career, or you want to change your identity surrounding so many different things, that to give yourself permission to do that, that your spiritual team is available. They want you to talk to them, communicate with them, let them know how you're feeling, but also continue moving forward knowing that they are active in your life, and you can increase your ability to see that and to experience that for yourself if you communicate with your spiritual team, talking out loud or praying to them, letting them know you're all the stuff we've been talking about, bruh. They are present to their own emotions and needs. A couple readings ago, and I've been seeing it in other people's readings too, there's been this message of acknowledging in your mind, or connecting your mind and your heart energy, or your mind and your body. Like, for so long they've been very separate, and for me that can look like if you told somebody that you would help them do something, and it gets later on in the week and you realize that you don't have the energy for it, or even before you agree to it, like you are taking time to say, let me think about that and see if it really does truly fit your schedule, if you really do have the energy for it, instead of doing things out of obligation. Reserving space and time for yourself in interactions that where other people are expecting something from you, or they are not expecting something from you, and it's just kind of like moving to the beat of your own drum, more openly, more authentically, stepping into your next level, stepping into the experiences that you have been wanting for a while. So it's giving me this energy of like when someone tries to give someone something and they're like, oh, no, 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 no. And while that's admirable, there are some aspects, times, situations, circumstances when you need to just receive, you need to just accept. So it's giving that energy like you denying something that you've been knowing that you wanted this whole time. Like, you've been wanted this whole time, and now the time has come, or the day has come, where you're being presented an opportunity and you're just like, that's too much for me. Like, I couldn't possibly accept that. And it's just like your spiritual team's like, yes, you can accept that, and you should, and you will accept that, because this is everything that you've been working for. So it's giving me this energy where like we are kind of conditioned to be humble or something like that, or we're conditioned to like make sure everyone else eats first, that type of energy. They are present to their own emotions and needs and will spend time on their personal development. An unbalanced wielding is in a state of perpetual chaos. They are avoidant and often use the external for a band-aid of their internal disease, which often means they are constantly moving on to the next thing. What they move on to never ends up being what they hoped for. And that's also the energy of like seeing it through too, because it's like giving this energy where we can talk ourselves out of it and we can kind of go back into our cave, and realizing later that we allowed an opportunity to pass us by, and kind of feeling a little bit regretful. And it's not that you won't get another opportunity in the future, because you will, but it's really more about you just like trusting yourself and being brave and standing up for yourself and being able to be proud of that and not regretting that you did that. It feels like you won't regret yourself for speaking up. You won't regret yourself for standing up for yourself. You won't regret yourself for setting boundaries. You won't regret yourself for putting yourself out there. because in the previous message, spiritual team was also talking about someone who research, and never really take the leap. And the spiritual team was coming through to say like, you're ready, you're vetted, um, you have enough information to be able to share it with others, or to speak to others, or to stand up for yourself, or take this position, or claim this position, or proclaim that type of energy. So like, don't jump ship now is kind of the energy that's coming through. Angels, guides, ancestors, God source, and benevolent energy, blessing, the truth, and love. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the guidance. Thank you for the protection. Please continue to guide and protect us as we walk our path. Is there anything else that we should know? Is there anything else that we should keep in mind? What should we be aware of in regards to this message? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That feels great. So under the deck, under current energy is the observer. The observer, like, you've been the observer for a while, and it was very necessary and important, and you gained a lot of things. But now you're not, you're transitioning from being the observer to like being the main character in your story, or being seen, or allowing others to see you demonstrate now with the observer. So your spiritual team wants you to, I'm hearing, step center stage. Like, take center stage. You have been called to the stage. At the top of the deck we have withdraw. Withdraw. And underneath that we have magi. And I'm going to read the magi. And it's in the choice point position. The magi. 98. The magi indicates a period where you need to look deeper. It asks you to examine what you think you know and then keep going. Throughout our lives, we build an infrastructure of beliefs that allows us to navigate life, but so often this system is built on top of a shaky foundation or out of weak materials, limiting beliefs, limiting thoughts. In other words, it is a time to question that which you have never noticed. What beliefs inform your decisions, passions, and ambitions? The Magi is a seer of illusion, and in turn they are able to cut through the fog and get to work. The Magi may see the world similar to a mirrored funhouse. They see the core of each experience and are able to acknowledge how many different realities exist in a single moment. Being able to see these many realities is a gift. It teaches us to be less attached to a single road, but instead see where all the roads meet. If we are courageous enough to see and be open to our life unfolding along any of the various roads, we invite in a magic that few get to experience. Okay. So we have that, the wielding. So we have withdraw, the magi, and the wielding. Yeah, it's definitely giving me choice point energy, or what the, like, we're at the crossroads, I guess, of an intersection, and it's kind of like another pop-up of like, what is it that you want? And we can say, we want this, we want this, we want this all the time. So now we're just like being presented with that. Do you still want this? This the energy. Then we have dare to dream, and underneath it, paradox in reverse. So the Dare to Dream card was here. We talked about like this energy of reclaiming what's yours, being able to receive, taking an offer, answering a call. So paradox. Paradox. I'm not gonna read all the cards, it's just some of them that I do like to read when I feel like it. Paradox. This card is a reminder that we can hold two extremes at the same time. Sometimes we focus on things, whether internal or external, and see them as one-sided. But to hold the paradox within us requires strength. To see our most brilliant qualities and our most ugly, to acknowledge that they both live within us, is a gateway to growth. Carl Jung said the paradox is one of the most valuable spiritual possessions, and for anyone who does shadow work, they know this to be true. But this can also be difficult for many people. If we have been raised in a rigid environment where things are viewed as black and white, it may be hard for us to accept our flaws, let alone love them. One of the best ways to slowly enter a relationship with our internal paradox is to remind ourselves that we did not create these things within us. We inherited them. It does not define us, and yet we are responsible for it. To work more deeply with paradox as you witness yourself throughout the day, identify what types of thoughts you have more of, positive or negative. From there, find the polar extreme. For example, maybe you thought, I'm so fucking lazy. Acknowledge a couple of things that makes that true, then find the polar opposite. Hardworking, and acknowledge a few things or experiences that prove that you are hardworking. So there is this energy of self-acceptance within yourself, and it's kind of like what this reading has been about. There are aspects of yourself that you have allowed other people to know or see about you, and then there are other aspects of yourself that no one has been able to see or know about you. And it gets tricky too, because like some people see certain aspects of us and they'll choose to try to sabotage that, or they will try to suppress it, or they won't tell you or something like that. And some people will tell you, but there's this aspect of you realized another aspect of yourself that you actually love, that you enjoy, but you're not sure if other people are ready for it, or if like carrying any burden that might come with whatever this is, that you are willing to have that experience. That's deep. So we have nature. Nature is coming up, and this is coming out up on top of the creator card, where we were talking about, I wasn't sure if it was coming out in the choice point position or the resistant position. And then I come to the realization that even though it is in the choice point position, it feels like it's in the resistant position. So I'm gonna go with my intuition. And it was talking about trusting your spiritual team, acknowledging your spiritual team, and knowing that you're not doing this or going on this alone. So nature is falling out on top of that. So there's this aspect of ourselves that we might have realized about ourselves, but then we're kind of like, oh, what do I do with it? Like, where does this fall in society? Like, where could I place this? What would be the appropriate time to be this or express this or do this? And you're kind of coming through this fork in the road where you're realizing that you do have to pick a side, even if others won't understand you or people have whatever type of reactions that you may be concerned about, to realize that it is your nature. So I'm like, it's the aspects that are like, that's just who we are. We can't really do anything about it, but we still feel like we need to do something about it. So on top of that, we have the alchemist. So we're kind of like working through these feelings, working through, how do I work around this, or how do I give and take, or how do I embody this type of energy? How do I, like, we don't really know, like we don't really know, like, what do I do with this type of energy? So yeah. Then we have the trust card coming out on top of that. So just trust that what is natural to you, what's innate to you, remembering what your birthrights are, type of energy, like self-acceptance type of energy, trust. The Magi. Oh, for some reason in this deck I have two Magi's. I said for some reason, I know why I had two decks at one time. I thought I got rid of all the other cards, but I guess I kept one of them. So one of the decks is missing a card. But yeah, so Magi came out twice and in the same position both times. Like, what are the odds? So our spiritual team really wants us to, like, use our will. They want us to flex a little bit, like to showcase ourselves, to trust ourselves, to perform. Destruction in reverse. Definitely destruction, and it's coming out underneath this observer, the under the deck undercurrent energy. So we were talking about with the observer that your spiritual team doesn't want you to just like sit on the sidelines watching everyone else, that they want you to be more active, or at least be the one where other people are seeking you out in order to get information. And so with destruction coming out in reverse, it's kind of like you're worried about how you're going to affect other people. But spiritual team is saying like that's not really your concern. And it's not giving like stepping on people's foot energy, but it's the energy of like people are going to have to work it out themselves. They're going to have to work it out within themselves. So we know that type of energy where like people don't understand you and people have questions and people feel like you owe them an explanation. Like you don't owe anyone any explanations unless you just really feel called to. But also finding a medium between that and standing up for yourself, or it's annoying. Get curious in reverse, underneath patience, take risk, ask body, strength in reverse. It's definitely something that we're still working on. Outlaw. The outlaw does like they pave their own way type of energy. They make their own rules. They live by their own standards. They challenge the status quo. Sometimes unknowingly, like sometimes just being yourself is like a crime. Shadow work is in reverse. Your spiritual team feels like you've done a good amount of shadow work. Right now they're wanting you to show up. Let me read Ask Body. 16. In spiritual work, the body is often overlooked. There is a tendency to go higher rather than go deeper. This card encourages you to enter into a dialogue with your body. Our physical body holds all of our experiences, our heart, mind, and spirit. It also has inherited significant experiences and traumas that have been passed on in our lineage. To dialogue with the body is to get to the root of the matter where our minds can only guess. Yeah, so then it gives some examples of like what to do. But yeah, that message has been coming through in a lot of other readings, just like being aware of your body, being aware of your energy, picking up little practices that help you stay connected to your body. So like going for a walk and getting fresh air, checking in with yourself before you agree to any obligations. I stretch, or I try to stretch every day, like, and not just like, stretches that make your body feel good, not really just trying to do so much like you have a particular goal, but like filling out which stretches feel good to you. um yeah, so like we definitely need to make sure that we're in our bodies, because I'm getting something about like there's a lot of anxiety surrounding whatever this is. So is there anything else in closing that we need to know regarding this message? Thank you, angels, guides, ancestors, God, God, source, and benevolent energies that stand in truth and love. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the guidance. Thank you for the protection. Thank you, thank you. Not a whole deck coming out. I'm trying to close. Underneath the deck, under current energy, is sacred sexuality. And it's going back to this energy of like honoring your wants, needs, desires, hopes, wishes. And it's kind of like being more self-focused about what you want and what you desire and what's going to be good for you. Like keeping yourself the focus is what's coming up. And it's interesting because I feel like whatever this purpose is that your spiritual team is encouraging you to continue to pursue, they also mentioned earlier in the reading that so many other people are connected to you, that you're going to be helping other people. So it's like you being selfish in this moment and focusing on your wants, needs, and desires is still going to benefit other people. So there's this cleansing type of alchemical thing where it's going to be reciprocated. Nothing's going to go to waste. Okay. I'm going to try to read these a little bit faster. So the top of spread on the left, we have destruction in the choice point position. Underneath that, we have speak truth. Yeah, so something about you speaking your truth or living out loud or loving yourself out loud or taking up space is going to make other people like kind of move around. And it's going to shift things like social dynamics and things like that, but it's nothing necessarily to be afraid of. And destruction is in the choice point. So the way it's coming through for me is your spiritual team wants you to know that it's an illusion. It's an illusion. Any destruction that you see around you, it's really just shifting. It's not so much destructing, although it may kind of feel a little shaky for you. Then we have get creative again and trust. Oh, trust and the alchemist coming out. All of these cards are coming out underneath the destruction card. So a lot of these are in your speak truth. It's coming out under destruction. So things are going to shift around you because you're kind of like waking other people up, or people are, I'm hearing startled. Other people are startled by you. They're a little complex. And then underneath that we have ask body again. It's like something about what you're doing or you want to do or you attempting to pursue it is like other people are like looking at you like that, but it's causing them to reevaluate their life and why aren't they doing what they want to do and stuff like that. So you're influencing other people. We have the creator in the resistant position this time, or again, since I read it that way. We have power in reverse. We have, on top of that, reflect. And then we have versatility in reverse as well. Versatility, reflect. So it's like you're shape shifting or you're changing, and other people are seeing aspects of their life being reflected through yours. They can see themselves in your life. The way that you move, because like you're moving authentically, so it's like moving authentically also gives you this quality to be able to adapt to changes. So it's like if you ever seen someone like, and you haven't seen them in like years, and then you see them again and they're different, but it's like it suits you though. Like, I like that for you. Like, I didn't even think that, but like, yeah, he always really kind of had that vibe. So it's like when you like haven't seen someone in a while and you see them and you're kind of like proud of them because they've matured and they got this whatever going on, this essence about them. So it's giving that energy, and people are like, it's also the energy of like people that know you or seen you before. They can kind of see that you've always kind of been on that path. It's just that the path has like developed and now there's a name for it, whereas it might not have been a name for it in the past. And people are just like, okay, I see, like, yeah, they have always been encouraging, or yeah, she always was like into makeup, or yeah, she did always like have an eye for that, or yeah, he always was that one person that would always just like come around and do this for us. Like, I should have seen that coming, or like I wouldn't expect anything less, or I'm not disappointed type of energy. I'm not mad at it. So the void is in the choice point position. So again, like we have like if there was a goal and that goal was like getting to an island or getting to this thing, it's like that stage where like you're leaving land, you're swimming to get to this other island, and there the middle of it while you're still in the water is kind of like this void. And then there's an opportunity for you to get out of that void, this long journey that you've been on. And that requires us to realize, I'm here, I have arrived, I have made it, here's my opportunity. I'm going to take advantage of it, I'm going to showcase it, I'm going to take up more space. So yeah, that's how we can kind of get off this ride or get on our stop. It's our stop. So Outlaw came out. And this is coming out underneath Sage, the top of the deck card, the Sage. It's like something about your life is calling a sweeping. It's a sweeping that's going just like by you following your path or being authentic or showing yourself. You're doing this kind of sweep. Like it makes other things that don't have the foundation that you have harder to exist. Especially since your spiritual team is supporting you and helping you. It's like you're reaching a wider audience, and it makes it harder for the scammers or the people that are trying to be in your energy. It makes it harder for them to still be able to be operable, is the way it feels like. So it's like if there's a field and there's a lot of fakes or scammers in that field, or there's a lot of people that's kind of been like, what's it called? They've been winging it or something like that. It's giving that energy of like you provide a certain level of quality or authenticity that it makes it hard for them to stay in business. So we have love, and on top of love, death came. So it's like loving yourself to the death of you, or it's like sacred energy, sacred union energy, like you love yourself, you love your passions, you acknowledge you showcase that you love yourself by acknowledging your intuition. You show yourself that you value yourself by going for your dreams, by allowing transformation, by being authentic. You showcase to yourself and to others that you love yourself. Regardless of the cost, you show your authenticity regardless. You'll die for your authenticity. You will allow yourself to be free. Okay, so underneath the void that came out in the choice point position, we have reclaim. So again, this ticket to getting out of this void is reclaiming. We have the universe in the resistant position. The universe. Share wisdom in the choice point position. The weaver in the choice point position. Like basically the same cards are coming out like in the same positions. The underworld. Yeah, the underworld is coming out. Like there's something like underground about who you are, or this aspect of who you are, or maybe your views, or like something is like taboo about what you do or who you are. It's giving that energy. And this phrase I heard from the peace dealer, which is I exist. Like there's certain things that you are, or opinions that you hold, or something that you embody or you possess that you are, that most people don't even know exist or think exists. And the get wild is coming out on top of that. So it's like you saying to the world, or stating to the world, I exist. Like, yes, I feel this way, or I believe in that, or I embody this, or something like that. Revolutionary is coming out in the choice point position. Soul work came out underneath that. I didn't notice. It's in the choice point position. So this is soul work for you guys, for us. Surrender. So yeah, if this message resonates with you, like the video so I know if the message was received. And aside from that, thank you angels, guides, ancestors, God, God's source, and benevolent energies that stand in truth and love. Thank you for the love, thank you for the guidance, thank you for the protection. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Bye.